Hi, and welcome to Gods Don't Bleed audio commentary, where we comment audibly on this video. Okay, so it's just gonna be me today. Maybe in the future I'll have like a partner or someone talking to me about this audio commentary, but I figure I'll just do it myself. Let's see here. This quote at the beginning is from the Bible. For those of you guys who know the Bible really well, you'll probably recognize it. I personally had to Google it. Take that as you will. I will not state my religious affiliation, but yeah, so let's see. I should mention that this video was actually inspired by Final Fantasy XIII Versus. The trailer for that game has a very similar feel to this one. If you ever watch it, a lot of you guys have been guessing like, Devil May Cry and Assassin's Creed 3 and Matrix or whatever. Yeah, actually, Final Fantasy XIII Versus was actually one of the main inspirations for this video. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, the color is going to be very similar. It's kind of like got a bluish hue tint to it. The music is going to be kind of similar, at the beginning at least, and the characters are going to be kind of similar in how they deal with things. And you'll kind of see that. If you haven't seen the trailer for Final Fantasy XIII Versus, you should watch it because it looks incredible. Okay, anyway. So yeah, we have Herobrine there. This cathedral, as you guys know, was downloaded at blendswap.com. Yeah, so the zombie comes attacking, and Herobrine moves super fast, so he kills him with his little pickaxe, not hoe. For those of you guys who think it's a hoe, it's not a hoe. I can see why you guys would think it's a hoe, but it's not. It's a pickaxe. So just to be, semantically correct. I mean, it's like he uses it as a scythe, so you could call it that too. But I mean, it's a pickaxe. It's actually how the pickaxe looks like in Dokucraft. I didn't edit it or anything like that. So yeah, this shot is actually very similar to Final Fantasy XIII Versus. You can see a lot of parallels in that. And then yeah, okay. So right here is when he starts fighting. I will tell you a secret and say that this shockwave, while it's a really cool effect, it might be like, oh wow, it's so cool. It's actually kind of like a secret way for me to not have to animate every single zombie. Like I wanted the impact of having there being like a lot of zombies at first, but then like not have to animate every single one. So what I just did was had him like land in the center of them and just kill like more than half of them off. Why not? And it worked because like at the end of the day he fights like 3 zombies right here, and like that's it. It's like 3 zombies, and they kind of represent the whole, and you kind of forget that the other ones are dead, essentially. This scene right here, as with many scenes in this animation, was actually inspired by Monty Oom's Dead Fantasy series, which is amazing. If you haven't seen Monty Oom's work, you should, because he is like a god in choreography and with camera work. Yeah, so I like his work a lot, and you can kind of see that in this animation particularly, because it's pure action. Now, one thing, right here, the skeletons, if you look at their bows, they're actually not drawn. The strings are not drawn. So, actually, I don't think anybody has noticed this yet, so I probably shouldn't have told you. But, yeah, I mean, I was just really lazy, and I didn't want to have the bowstrings drawn, because that takes a lot more work. So I just left it there, and I was like, okay, it doesn't really matter. They'll probably be paying attention to Herobrine anyway. So, yeah, I mean, there you go. Oh, also fun fact, and some of you guys notice this, there's not enough arrows, actually, that go back and forth to kill every single skeleton. So in this case, there's 4 skeletons. I think like 6 arrows go like this way towards Herobrine, where Herobrine's going, and like 1 arrow goes the other way. So like, technically there should still be 1 skeleton alive, but don't tell anybody. Anyway, also the spider. There's 1 spider missing that wasn't accounted for because he just kind of fell off, and people are asking like where he went. I'm sure he despawned, said Dylan, making up for his lack of continuity. Okay, so yeah, so right here he starts doing hand-to-hand combat, which is technically impossible in Minecraft, but so is this. yeah, all this stuff is kind of like it's just basic, like it's just pure like hard animation. Choreographing for this piece was kind of like it was kind of like it wasn't really pre-planned or anything. I would just kind of go along as I went along. So if I was reaching a point in the choreography where I wouldn't know what to do next, I would just stand up, just like any animator should, and just kind of act out what the character is doing. And so I would go into the position that Herobrine was last in, or whatever, and try to, you know, act out whatever he was doing, and then be like, okay, I'm in this position where I stopped. What do I do next? What's most natural for me? And then I'll do that, and I'll think about it, and I'll and I'll do that, and then I'll just animate it. And that's just kind of how like the animation went in terms of the choreography and the planning. Okay, right here, I love this shot. The Ender Punch was, I like this shot, and you'll also notice that the particles are slowed down. I did that by decreasing the time step on the particles in Blender. So if you guys have ever messed with particles in Blender, you'll notice there's a time step option in there, and that can slow down and speed up the particle movement. So yeah, I did that, and yeah, I did that really cool slide. Oh, the particles there, in terms of like the movement between when Herobrine's sliding and when Enderman pushes him to his throne. One key thing is like the particles were very important for the Enderman to have, because if the Enderman didn't have particles, you wouldn't really understand that the Enderman had just like swept Herobrine off his feet, literally. Yeah, I feel like the particles there in that certain scene really sold it. So yeah, just something to note. There's a lot of camera shake. A lot of people, this really goes unnoticed, but in terms of like filmmaking, it's very important to kind of give, at least in animation, it's very important to give the like feel that you're actually there. And the shaking camera in a lot of impact scenes, for example, when he was thrown against the throne and stuff like that, a lot of camera shakes animations really help sell that fact, like that concept, and it makes impacts a lot more impactful, essentially. So like, yeah, so you'll notice that a lot over here. Oh, here I made a reference to Enderman's origin, which was based off of Slenderman. Yeah, also notice that the Enderman is actually bleeding his own particles. I just kind of did that for fun. That's a little fun fact. Somehow jumps like entire football field length. But he's Herobrine, so whatever. But yeah, so right there was a nice camera shake. And right here, definitely camera shake when the shockwave comes up. There was a camera shake, and I also did a depth of field change where I first focused on Herobrine, and then I focused on the debris as it was coming up, and then as it passed, I focused back on the Herobrine, and that kind of gave like a closer, like, you know, it just kind of gave like kind of the feeling that you were actually there, and I like that effect a lot. Yeah, and that's about it. I don't really know what else to talk about. If you guys have any questions, leave the comments down below. If you guys have any requests about maybe what you would have rather me talk about, this is the first audio commentary I've ever done, so just let me know if there's anything else you want to know, and like in future commentaries for my future projects, and I'll try to include those next time I do them. Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I guess I'll just talk to you guys later.